In today's video, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of a Whatnot show. I've not seen a lot of people do this, and you guys have requested it since the last video that I made, which was my Whatnot setup and how I basically get all of my items prepped and ready to start to do a Whatnot show. In today's video, we're going to follow along with that video, the progression of a Whatnot show, and I'm actually going to show you how I start a show, what it looks like on my screen as I'm doing a show, what am I pressing with my Whatnot setup and the way I have listings ready to go, how am I running those auctions, a little bit of how I guess, perform a Whatnot show, kind of my strategies, the things I talk about, just a generalization, and then at the very end, I will also show you how I do a raid and also how I generate and email myself my shipping labels. If you haven't already, go back and watch the Whatnot setup video because this video will make a whole lot more sense to you if you watch that video. So as you guys can see, everything is sorted. I bought these little things off of Amazon. They're just little clothing dividers or closet dividers is how you could look them up. And if you guys are hearing the word Whatnot and you're not sure what it is, you are new to Whatnot. Whatnot is an app and a website. They are an online buying and selling live auction platform. I love them for both buying and selling. But recently I have been all about the selling and trying to figure out how I'm gonna make it work for my business. Myself and my team have been selling anywhere from 100 to 150 items a week, and we're doing 3 shows a week. If you guys would like to see a Whatnot show in action, you guys can head on over to my Whatnot. It'll be linked right here and also down below in the description. If you click on the invite link and sign up for Whatnot, it is completely free. You'll also get $15 to spend off of your very first purchase. You can use it in one of my shows. I have lots of shows upcoming with myself and my team. The next show that I am going to be hosting will be happening Tuesday, July 16th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come check me out, or if you don't want to hop on to that show, I have many more scheduled. You can bookmark any of them and you'll be notified when I actually go live to sell the items. And if you don't want to use it on my show, Whatnot has tons of shows where sellers are selling not just clothing, but things like trading cards, jewelry, home goods. There are a million things you can buy and sell on Whatnot. And there are shows happening all the time, and you can use your $15 coupon off of any of those shows. It is a place to get a really great deal. And if you're interested in selling on Whatnot, I also have a link down below where you can start the sign up process. So this video is going to be behind the scenes. You can come and see what it looks like from the buyer's perspective. So as you guys can see, I am in a spot that I'm not normally at. I'm actually on vacation in Florida. By the time you guys see this video go live, I will not be here any longer. And in the spirit of things, let me go ahead and show you a beach shot because I have been super enjoying myself, but I am going to be ready to get back at live selling once I return. The week I come back, we're diving into that show. So I've already showed you how I set up a Whatnot show. Remember, I'm doing everything by a weighted category. I'm going to show you what that looks like from my side here in just a second. But first, I want to show you really quickly, after you get your show set up, it's all scheduled, how do you actually start the Whatnot show? All right, you guys, so you guys have seen my setup. So basically all that happens is whenever you are ready to start your show, whatever device you want the actual camera to be on, you can have other devices, but whichever one you want the camera to be viewing you, that you go off of to see what you're doing and for everybody to hear you, you need to start that show first on that device, and then after it has started, you can add any other devices. So all I would do if I wanted to start one of these shows, which I'm not going to, but if I wanted to, I would just click into the Whatnot app. I personally use my phone as the camera. I go to my shows, and then I pick whatever show I need to start. Let's say it's this one. You can see down at the bottom, there is something that says start show, and that is all you have to click to start your show. So as you can see, starting the show is super simple. Like I said, once you get your front facing, your camera and your speaker like main device ready that you're going to be using to talk to. Then I go ahead and log on to any other device that I might be using to help me out. Once you sign in, any device signed in after that is basically just going to be additional controlling. It won't switch the camera or anything like that. I'm going to show you a little bit about how I get a show started, just kind of what I talk about, and then I will also show you when I actually go to run an item. So I first wanted to show you, and we will come back to this clip, but when I start everything on my phone, this is what it looks like on my screen on the device that I am streaming from, that my camera works on, and so I'm able to see myself. And then I additionally have a laptop that is beside of me that I use to actually run the items. And then this is what my screen looks on my laptop, which is the device that I'm actually using to run the items. I can also still see myself, but my camera is actually only working from the device I started on, which is my phone. And on this screen, you can see over here on the left-hand side, I've got all of my listings. So that is where I go to actually run the items. You'll see me do that here in just a sec. And then on the right side, I have my chat, all of my sales, all of my orders, everything is right there, and I can see everything happening, all of the questions being asked, and run my items. And that is how I choose to run my show on my laptop, and then just facing the camera to actually talk to my audience. Here on the right hand side, you can see that I have, multiple quantities, like I talked about before in the last video, of all of the items that are in categories based on their weights. At the beginning of the Whatnot stream, again, just a generalization, I am just saying hi to everybody. And then here you can see I've got a question of the day, which is just something we decided to do to just engage with the chat in the beginning. We just ask a fun question and get everybody's answers, and then we get started in the show. I'll probably talk in a future video about why we do that and how to engage your audience a little bit more, but that is something I do at the beginning of every show. And then we start moving into actually running the items, and I will show you how I do that on my laptop screen. Also, on any of the devices that you have, you can go ahead and type stuff into the chat. You can see here I'm putting the question of the day. If you put a question mark in anything that you write, it turns that comment yellow. So it's an easy way to keep up with the chat, but also to alert your buyers to anything that you have. And then we also type things in the chat as we are showing items so that our buyers know exactly what we're showing in case they missed what size it was. So once I am ready to actually run an item, I look on my rack, I choose whatever item I want, and then I take note of what color section that I chose it from. Here I am grabbing a pair of Lululemon leggings, looking to see what the color is, and then you can see I choose a purple item. So then I get ready to start the auction, and I kind of just let that linger on my screen. You can get to this by choosing product actions for whatever listing, and then go to whatever settings you want. Do you want to do sudden death, how much time, and what is your starting price? And then I just let that screen sit there, and then as soon as I'm ready to, I will hit the button start auction. So I usually go ahead and get that ready to go. And then I talk about the item, and then whenever I'm ready to actually start the actual auction so that people can bid, that's when I hit start. But I go ahead and get that ready. Here in just a second, you're going to see me hit the start auction, and then you'll see what it looks like as the buyers actually bid up the item. So you can see I lean over to the side to my laptop and I hit start auction. From here, I can see on every single screen, including the camera in front of me on my phone, the bidding process. You can see everything is getting bid up. I'm able to see the buyer's username. I'm able to see the chat. I'm able to see everything on every device. It's just that I am running it from my actual laptop screen, which is beside of me, and it is what you guys are seeing here, screen recorded on this screen. So at this point in time, the buyer had won the auction. It got bid up to $9, and I can see here on the screen which buyer won it. And then we go ahead and have the second person who is behind the scenes, which would be Joe at this point, write their username on one of those dry erasable closet dividers and start a section on the other side of the rack for them, which is basically a section for their bundle. So let's see this one more time. This is Joe running an item. He is grabbing an item out of one of the sections, taking note of what color it is, and he is showing the item to the viewers, and then he is just going to go ahead and click run. He's not queuing anything up and getting it ready, which is another way that you can run it. What's important is that you are choosing the right listing and running the right listing. So he's showing this Polo Ralph Lauren men's sweater, and he is about to go to the laptop screen, choose the section that it's from, which is green, start auction, and then he's actually just going to go ahead and start it, and you can see that starts the bidding process and people start to bid that up. Same exact process as what I had done, except he did not go ahead and load up the screen to hit the buttons, but you can do either method. I just prefer to have everything ready to go. One thing I also like about Whatnot in these screens is as long as you don't go to run the next item, you will still see the buyer's username from the person who purchased the last item circled here on my screen. And then also take note that if somebody does put a question mark in the chat, it turns that yellow. So on the other side, the person that is helping, run the other side of the shows, as the person's presenting, they are putting a question mark to highlight it yellow and then what the item is, just for the chat in case they miss anything, and I'll circle that also here on my screen. So that is the gist of what the screen looks like on the back end as we are running a Whatnot show, how we are running those auctions, and basically all that happens is that quantity for each section goes down as we run, which is why it's important to have a pretty large quantity so that you don't run out in the middle of a show. But this method has been so easy for me, and it prevents me from putting individual listings in. Now that we've gone through the back end that I run on my laptop, let's go ahead and view some footage, a screen recording I did from my phone screen, which, as you remember, is from the device that I'm actually filming on, talking to the camera on, and what I see on that end. A pin, barely touched it. But we want to make sure to note that, and there's also very teeny tiny thread pulled here. They are very small flaws, but again, wanted to make sure to note them. But the wool itself is in really excellent condition. And yeah, Jolie used my code for GRO pack and told a couple of friends too. Thank you so much. I love them for shipping supplies. That's actually what most of the stuff gets shipped in too. All right, Henry Bendel. Starting the auction now. Gorgeous piece. Let me know if you guys have ever sold Henry Bendel. I've sold a few of their clothing, but also mostly their handbags for like hundreds of dollars. Insane. Like I said, this one is a really nice longer length.
It's a Thanksgiving top.
No. Yeah. Friends reference. This is a size small, but you could definitely size up if you wanted this for yourself, probably to a size large because it is meant to fit a little bit more relaxed. And it is a really pretty, I wanted to call it a camel brown, but I don't think it's quite a camel brown, but it is like close to it. A really nice neutral shade.
You ever just
merino wool.
You ever just grab a brand for your store just to have that brand in your store to bring traffic to your store?
No, I used to think that way. Oh, you guys got a steal, Tina. Congratulations. That's an awesome find. I used to think that way because I heard other resellers talk like that, but I don't find that to be true, to be honest with you. Really? I think what you have is what you have. All right, now that you guys have seen the behind the scenes of what exactly we are clicking in order to run items, let's finish out a show. At the end of every show, I always say goodbye to everybody. I thank them for shopping, and then I take them and we raid another seller. Raiding is basically taking everybody that's still in your show and hopping them over into another show. A reason you might want to do this is because if you raid somebody else's show, you're showing them basically an act of kindness by bringing buyers to their live auction, and they might tell their viewers that are already on the show to go follow you. So it's just like a win-win situation, and I've heard that the bigger sellers always do this, so it is something that I am trying, and I have gained a few followers from it, so I always do a raid at the end. I'm going to show you exactly what I press on my phone in order to create that raid. For shows, he and I are just going, literally in a few days, we're going to be doing another show. It's just going to be a trendy find show. So we're going to have a lot more men's, so Joe will be on a little bit more. But yeah,
come on over to the show on Tuesday, bookmark. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody saying great show. We
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thanks for stopping by.
Learned a lot today too. Thank you. Thank you.
I did too.
So yeah, come on over to our show on Tuesday. And by the way, I go on vacation the next week, so it's going to be 2 weeks after that you'll see us. So if you can make Tuesday, we'd love to see you. If not, we will be having shows done from the rest of our team here, sharing some great items. But if not, I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks after that. But hope to see you guys before I leave.
Always a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is so much fun.
And I love seeing the same names pop up and talking to y'all. It's fun.
Yes, it is so much fun. All right, we are going to rate somebody. I see there's some Nordstrom shoes. Someone was asking about shoes. I don't know this person, but it might be somebody you guys might want to look at for the shoes.
Let's look at some shoes, baby.
See you guys. Closet to closet, you are so welcome. You guys have a good one. Ooh, did I do it? Yep. Bye.
Oh my gosh. Cayley, if I'm saying that wrong, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you, you guys. We have a giveaway going on.
So we just finished the show. It ended because we rated, although you could just go ahead and end the show without rating, but rating does end your show. Now that the show is over, I want to show you guys how I get to my shipment screen. Remember, when we did the listings, we typed all of the weight information in. So now all those labels are going to be generated for me. I just need to print them out and slap them on to each of my orders. And I've already showed you guys how we bundle everything together on the rack. So I just take everything for that buyer's username off the hanger, bundle it up, and then slap the label on. So let me show you how I generate the shipping labels and get them emailed to me.
All right, so I just did the raid on this show. I am going to go to my shipments. And you can see that everything is ready to go. I have 12 live orders to ship. It automatically does all of that for you. And I'm just going to generate labels because we've already prepped and put the weights into all of the listings and sorted by like the weight ranges. Everything is like ready to go. I don't need to double do anything because we just did it. So generate labels. Confirm. And then once that finishes loading, we are going to email all labels. All right, so here are our labels. If we click into it, we can pull all labels, all packing slips, or all labels and packing slips. I always just print the labels, and then I match up to the username that we put on our little hanging closet dividers and get everything shipped. The only thing that you really have to keep track of is if it is going ground advantage or if it is going priority mail. So for instance, if I click into this one, I have Chicago Closet is a username. I'm just going to find my Chicago Closet order hanging up on my rack. And then I'm going to make sure that I'm shipping USPS priority mail and putting it in the free priority mail supplies if I can. And then in some other cases, they are going ground advantage. So I'll just have to make sure to put it in my own packaging.
All right, guys, so that is it for the behind the scenes of a Whatnot show. If you're interested in the final step of a Whatnot show, which would be how we do Whatnot shipping, I know a few of you guys have requested that. If anybody else would like to see it, let me know down below in the comments and I can do an additional video all about Whatnot shipping, which would be the stage 3, the final process that I do to complete the Whatnot show. I hope you guys learned a little bit about conducting a Whatnot show. Again, one thing I love about Whatnot is you can run a Whatnot show however you want to. You don't have to do it my way, but I think by showing you guys the behind the scenes, you can kind of see maybe a different way that you might want to go about it. At least you're seeing the interface and what all is available to you during a Whatnot show. If you guys are not already and you would like to be, don't forget to subscribe down below. And if you hit the notification bell and you hit all, you'll be notified every single time I post content. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.